give a few more minutes and then we'll get started. Today we have an exciting workshop today. So hopefully everybody will have a great time together co-creating. Give everybody a couple of minutes. In the meantime, if you have some questions, please feel free to type those questions in from last week. Clarity of inner thoughts, so we can make sure we're aligned with moving forward. In the meantime, I'm going to share my screen so we can get started once everybody's in. So, show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, Rick.
Hello.
Ben, welcome. How you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. A little snowy today here.
That's always good. Keeps you in the house, right? Shut the body down a little bit just to relax.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining today. I appreciate your co-created expressions with us today. So thank you for being here with us. Um, Rick, welcome as well. Karen, welcome. Remember, you can always jump in and share your thoughts and ideas. Willie, welcome. Let's see. Hopefully today I don't scare people because we're going to be talking about the alphabet and some math, right? uh, don't hit the disconnect and say, no, I left math when I was in elementary school. I'm not talking about math, Mr. G. Today we're going to be looking at some of the foundational pillar of how to experience energy, especially on a quantum level. What is that comparable to in our physical experiences? All right, so today I'll be comparing uh, some foundational pillars of our ability to learn conceptually, because everything about thoughts is about learning as we relate it into the physical world. So I want to bridge that back. I call it leveraging Simplexity. So hopefully that will make some connections to you and allow you to take those next steps that are necessary for your transformation. Now, I must say that I've been really practicing the things we've been talking about, and taking those fundamental steps. I've been seeing great stride in areas of my life. I'm moving in a constructive way. Things that felt like it was far reaching now are easily accessible. And so hopefully you will have the same outcome in your experiences. Right? And so hopefully we can co-create together and create something great. So before I start, anybody would like to share any thought or ideas from last week's show or any previous show? Yes, no. You just jump off mute. Auntie Tony, I'm going to add you as a panelist. Let's see. See if she here.
Hello.
Hey, Sir Richard, I see you here. Welcome. Let's see. I need access to add panelists. Access. Okay. I guess you can just unmute. You didn't give me access to upgrade you to panelists. I'm sorry about that. All right, welcome again. Welcome. So thank each and every one of you for always taking the opportunity to co-create with me and co-create together so we can align actionable wisdom in moving forward. Okay?
Mm.
So we're gonna go and get started if and no one has questions. So this workshop is going to be multiple parts. We're going to look at some basic foundational pillars and we're going to go into the technical as well. Okay? So I would like to start off by saying Our topic for today is harnessing quantum field through Simplexity. Simplexity is something that I use within the education realm where I simplify things that can integrate into more complex ideas. Right. So if you understand Simplexity, um, you understand how to integrate. And so expanding the possibility for releasing limited attachments. Right. Um, One of the tools I've recommended uh, you take advantage of is Trailblazer, the spiritual evolution and journey for everyone. I wrote that as a systematic process that you can practice something in the morning, something in the afternoon, and something in the evening. Those are action steps. And it's free. It's free 99, right? However, I do accept donations in energy intentions. So if anybody out there says, Mr. G, I got you, right? Energy intentions, positive thoughts. And if you want to support, PayPal is out. Now, I will say this about energy intentions and positive thoughts. There's some etiquette, or there's some ethic. How can I put this? You can't send energy to people in a way, with your thoughts in contradictions with your vibration. Okay. So what does that mean? All right. You wake up in the morning, you're having a tough day. And then all of a sudden somebody comes to mind and you're praying for them or you're trying to bless them. It is important that you understand that when you send that connection to that person, they aligns with your vibration. That's why some of us, when people pray for you, you don't want them praying for you because the distortions of their vibration aligns with you. That's why something like, why am I having this negative thoughts? Or why am I, an accidental prone? I'm running to everything, running to walls and different things, accident prone. And that's because somebody have you on that thought pattern that is not in alignment with your vibratory alignment. And so
Mm.
today we'll be looking at that on a richer, deeper level. Right? So again, send those positive thoughts my way. Those scalar frequencies. When you're vibrating at that level, send some intention, not just to me, but to the family, to anybody else and everybody else around. Our country needs it. The world needs it. People out there need it.
Mhm.
All right. So let's talk about what physical reality does to your thoughts. Right? Physical reality follow a certain set of rules. Okay. It is a force that pulls, right? You create the intention. That's when we talk about when you begin to vibrate and you begin to resonate with certain thought pattern, physical reality come together and create a construct. And then it pulls at you. And that's a force that is similar to the same force of creation itself. And that's a force you cannot go against. So let's simplify that. Right? Anytime you have a thought about something, someone, an idea, something, you have a potential of positivity and a potential of negativity. That potential go into the negative infinite and into the positive infinite. The goal is to be a neutral because when you in the state of neutrality, you allow the energy field or God or whatever you want to call it to have free creativity, right? They can freely create and move you and guide things, people, places, and things in your direction. So what end up happening, people have thoughts and forget about how they're vibrating. So what does that mean?
Mm.
Here's simply put it. Okay? You get to cancel your potential. You don't get to choose. So all these people out here being telling you get to choose your future, you get to choose. No, your vibration gets to cancel the other one. So there's no possible way for you to attach to it. So if you are negatively charged, you cancel out your positive potential. When you're positively charged, you cancel out your negative potential. So it's what type of charge you possess. Now, if we look
Mm.
at the number line, it goes infinite positive, infinite negative, and the line signified love. Talked about that previously. That's why I said love conquers all. As long as love is in the center of your life, you can easily navigate, right? Positive potential and negative potential will always be reflecting your life, but you may be able to perceive it rather than experience it. And that's what the chi cord comes in, because the chi cord comes in and helps you neutralize the charge that you're vibrating so that way you can align with the desired potential, right? And so it is important that you understand where your vibratory state is, right? And there's no judgment. Just know, don't pretend that you're one thing when you are vibrating something. If you're angry, it's okay to be angry. If you're frustrated, it's okay to be frustrated. If you're hateful, it's okay to be hateful. Whatever you are, it's okay. But understand your potential outcome with holding on to that, right? And so we don't want to move into negative potential in the physical construct of reality. So it's important that you right now find ways to neutralize that.
Mm.
Before Coil and other technology as such, it was difficult because you had to find positive people. And some of you know you got a bunch of negative folks around you.
Hmm.
Every time you turn around, they're just attacking you with those negativity, right? I remember, no matter how far we go back in history, we see that. Even when you talk about stories about Jesus and Muhammad, Buddha, whatever, spiritual leader, they always had negative folks around them, right? And just projecting and projecting at them, right? And so it is important for you to understand why this technology is so valuable, because without it, you had to be in the right environment to change, right? And so it was difficult. So with Chico, what Chico does is it neutralizes, and we're going to talk about that here in depth. It neutralizes what you're vibrating in order to align you with your greatest potential. Now, we're going to compare the quantum field with the alphabet, right? Want everybody to look at these letters, right? You can look at these letters and you can spell any word from it. You can spell love, you can see Love, you can move through the letters. That's how reality is designed. Reality exists as a thought that manifests within a thought, right? So you exist in this higher level thought. And so the thought acts like a thought. So that means that the goal is not to try to act like you're physical, but act like you're within the thought. What does that mean? When you spell the word love, or you spell blessings, or you spell kindness, or you spell joy, right, there is a pattern of thinking that takes place. Right? And that's what you're doing. You're just simply perceiving it and then detaching from it. That's important because a lot of us, when we hold on, so we can spell anger, Anger. We can spell anger, we can spell hate, right? But the problem we have sometimes is that we become attached to it. We become attached to fear, like we talked about last week. We become attached to pain. We become attached to suffering. Well, in a physical construct of attaching, those resources are no longer available. So remember, at the quantum level, you want creativity to exist with all that is. You want all that is to have access to all the letters to support you. But all that is has given you free will to decide how you want to express your reality. You either give that free will back to all that is God, whatever you want to call it, to guide your purpose, guide you, whatever your directed path is, or you can say, I got this. And so when you say I got this, is based on your actions and how you hold on to people, places, and things, belief system, ideas, whatever it is you hold on to. So if I spell the word hate, Hate, right? I pull those letters when I attach to it. When I attach to hating my whomever, wife, spouse, other people, right? I create hate, but I'm stuck with those letters for that purpose. Now you want to spell love, but the E is missing. So love becomes distorted, right? Because you haven't free those resources. You're giving these 26 letters, and this is just an analogy, but in this context, these 26 letters to write your entire story, to write your future, to talk about any experiences, to perceive any experiences, to have any reality you want, even beyond this physical world. Right? The letters are just there, they're just sources. And that's how the quantum field is. Right? We take resources because the energy or information cannot be created, cannot be destroyed, it transforms. Right? How is it transformed? Transformed by our intention, our belief system, our ideas. Right? So for those of you out there, I need you to understand the reason you're struggling, the reason you're going through these distortions, as I myself had to learn the hard way. I had to learn I was attaching to belief system ideas that was limiting me, right? Because I wasn't pulling those sources back in to leverage it. You need freedom of creativity by way of the higher self to be able to connect to all those letters to create whatever reality you want, right? So we'll go to the next slide. But before I go to the next slide, does anyone have a question as it relates to what I just stated? You can just jump in and on mute. How you doing, Auntie Tony?
Doing wonderful. How are you?
I am blessed. Thank you for asking.
All right.
What are your thoughts on what I just expressed with the alphabet? Let's go back to the alphabet. Because some of you are missing a lot of your letters. You missing letters because you have anger issues, you got pain issues, you got fear issues, you got a lot of issues. And it's okay to have those issues, but you have to find a way to let go of those issues. Get beyond your pride, get beyond your ignorance, get beyond your greed or your need to control. I call it the pig mentality. Learn to just release, to free up those sources so you can tap into your potential of positive health, wealth, success, or whatever that is divinely aligned with you. And what do you think? Anybody want to jump in? Please jump in and share your thoughts on this.
My thoughts of the letters is more like a worry,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and it's the opposite. I guess is having the faith, which I do believe. It's just at the time of in the now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the unknown, I guess, is a little testing.
I like when you mentioned faith. You know, in the scripture or in the ancient text, they talk about now faith is right. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for. Right? Now, if you look at these letters, you can hope for anything by perceiving the idea of it. Right? You can see money. Right? You can spell out money with these letters. You can spell out joy. You can spell out peace. You can spell out happiness. You can spell out whatever. Right? But it doesn't mean you're vibrating with it, right? So the way to vibrate is to align with those things. As I said, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, lacking a sight of. That means you can't see it yet because you're not vibrating with it yet. Right? And that's where the sight comes into play. You see it when you begin to vibrate with it. It reveals itself to you. Right? So the idea of faith is talking about energy, right? Because there's infinite layers of energy, it's infinite layers of reality, and all on a different channel. And things can be happening right next door to you, and you completely miss it because you're on a different channel completely, right? Same television, right? Same remote, but infinite potential of channels and experiences from the same device. So you have the potential to shift. Right? So it's important that we keep our source free. That's why in all teachings, they tell you to love, they tell you to forgive and show compassion. That is the reason the ancient teaching existed in such a context, right? Because they understood this idea that when you attach, you transform those sources and direct them and you channel them, which you become blind to any other potential. So if you take those sources and you sickly and you're angry and you're frustrated and all those different things you attach to it, because of people, places, and things. And you limit the creativity. And that's the key, the creativity of the universe, the creativity of God to come in. Remember last time I said God wants the how. It don't want you to touch it. How things happen for you is the idea of faith. Because God will move mountains, will move people, places, and things from anywhere around the world, will transform you to any place, anytime, right? It has the capacity to do that based on where you are. And if you can't move, it will bring it to you. And that's only source can do that. So you need that creativity to be free in order for source to tap into your fullest potential and guide you there. Hopefully that makes sense a little bit more with the letters. And I like the idea of faith. And I think faith is the perception of things. And just like looking at these letters, you're going to perceive the things that you're desiring. And you can spell out an entire novel. You can spell out your past, present, and future. Remember, the past doesn't exist, but you can spell it out here. The future doesn't exist, but you can spell it out here. What exists is the now, and the now determines what future you have or what the next step in your evolution based on how you're vibrating. So let's break that down. And I wanted to talk about some of the technical, but I want to make sure we simplify it, right? The quantum field is an energetic, right? So think of it as an energetic alphabet containing every possible outcome for your reality. Every possible outcome for every potential of your reality exists, right? It is infinite, all powerful, and completely neutral. Doesn't matter if you focus on anger, pain, negativity. It is completely neutral, right? So just like each letter represents a unique vibrational frequency capable of forming realities like health, abundance, success, and limitation. You get to decide how you use the source based on your intentions and your connections and ultimately how you're vibrating. Okay? Your beliefs and focus focus is the intention, how you focus your mind, which letter you select to spell out your experiences. The quantum field is not reserved for a select few. Everybody have access. That's what the great thing about transformation. All of you have access to it. We all have access to it at any given time. Doesn't matter, poor, rich, sick, health, doesn't matter. You have access in real time. The next breath can lead you to your next level of success. It's how you begin to align yourself by releasing, right? And that's where, again, that chi core comes in. You have to know thyself. If you pretend that you do not know thyself, you can't move, because you can't move you to the next level until you relinquish control. You can't say, well, I'm going to hold on to this anger because XYZ person did this to me and this gives me wisdom. No, you have to forgive. And sometimes you have to forgive on an infinite level. You got to continue forgiving until you break free, because whatever you're experiencing is a reflection of that. If it's happening to you, it's happening because of you from a higher perspective, the soul, or a lower perspective, the soul is the mind or the physical body. All of that have a purpose in your life. Right? And so it's important that you understand, again, at the quantum level, everything is neutral. It's at that zero place. It has no polarity. It has no duality. Right? So let's look at beliefs. Your beliefs act as the filters. So some of you, it is important to be wise in what belief system you choose to accept, right? Whether it's from me or anyone else, because the belief system is supposed to be the developmental process of moving you into knowing. Knowing is the experience, right? So your belief acts as that filter, allowing only certain letters in this context from the quantum alphabet to manifest into your life. I don't know if that makes sense. Does anybody have a question about that? Remember, you can jump in, raise your hand if you have a question, so I can answer those questions. So that way you're not holding off your thought patterns. Right? All right.
Guys, I'm new to this. Thank you for having this. I've been invited to this for a couple of times, but this is my first time here. I bought the equipments, and they come in both the, I believe the yen part of, and I try it, but it hasn't been working properly for me. Is that because I need to buy one positive and one negative? So if you have both, either positive or both negative, it doesn't work right. Is that right?
So positive and negative don't work in a context like that, right? Your energy, the body knows how to acclimate. When we look at how the chi core work, it brings the potential of the feminine and the masculine, right? Think of it as force versus gentleness, right? So if you need to receive certain information, how forceful does that information comes in? You better do this, right? Or I think you need to do this because it's best for you. Right? And that's how the frequency works, right? They're coming with force, because sometimes we need that force, right? We need that masculinity to push us, right? And then sometimes we need that finesse to guide us, right? And to just like almost like a wave, just float us away, to where we need to be. Right? But some of us want control, and the more control, the more force you need, right? And if you lose control, if you relinquish control, then the feminine is able to guide you more and more. But sometimes that force is there. So to answer your question, it doesn't matter on the technology in itself. It's the intention you put into the technology and how your receptibility of the intention, because the technology is simply putting information into your information field to help neutralize you. Right? So let's give an example. You have a disease, you have cancer, right? Technology does not cure your cancer, period. I don't care who has told you that, it's not true. It doesn't cure your cancer. It neutralizes the belief system that you have that attaches to the cancer. If you believe that cancer kills and cancer destroys because you've been taught that, it comes in and neutralizes that. And when it neutralizes that, it expands you to pull in the reality that aligns with it. And that can be something you ate. In fact, the actual device itself, based on your intention to it, could then support that endeavor because you have a strong connection to it. That is the all be all for your healing, right? But it neutralizes you from the attachment as it releases those letters. So you go from cancer kills, oh, cancer is a healing process in the body that has gone awry. So cancer is actually a healing process. I just need to bring it back to balance. It's just out of control. See? And it does that. And that's what it does for everything, right? Health, success, whatever it is, there's always this balancing act. Right? Hopefully I answer your question. If you want to ask it again in a different way, if I missed it. But use the technology, as is, connect with it, add your intention to it, and begin to observe. For those of you who are rigid with holding things, you're going to have some serious resistance. Right? You're going to have some things, some emotional challenges or egotistical challenges. Right? And when you have those resistance, you begin to identify, oh, I'm facing me. I'm facing the things within me so I can neutralize it. Because the only way to embrace those distortions is to submit to it and accept it. But if you resist it, then you'll just be bumping your head and never get to the next level. So that's one of the things that technology is going to do. It's going to start to heal you in that way because it's putting the information in your information field and says, this is the information that you desire to attach to, but you have to let go to grab it. So when you put those healing frequency on, you're saying, I'm ready to let go of whatever I'm holding on to attach to this idea and this intentionality of transformation of my reality. But some of us are stubborn. I call it, we're not stupid, we get stuck on stupid, right? And so we hold on to things that we know is toxic relationship. And so when you start to run this frequency, your heart might be broken, right? The person that you attach to, right, you're infatuated, might do something that breaks up the relationship because it's necessary. And then the next thing you know, about a year later, 2 years later, as you continue to train your body, you meet the perfect person for you that aligns with you. But in that moment of hurt, you may not perceive that. So everything that happens to you is for you. Just accept it and become neutral of it. And that will guide you to your next step in the direction you're trying to transform into. That resistance, that which will resist, will continually persist. And we all have experienced that. We keep seeing the same problem come about all the time, right? It doesn't matter what distortions in our lives, we just keep seeing it. Relationship, health, it just keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. It comes in creative way because the quantum field is very creative. It will find creative ways to get you to align with that intention, that potentiality. So you have to learn to tap back into you and realize, okay, I'm perceiving this. I need to work on me to accept this, but also let it go because it no longer serves me. Okay? So again, scarcity, right? If you believe in one thing, it's a contradiction to believe in scarcity and accept prosperity because you're holding on to scarcity. You're holding on to things that cannot get you to the next level. And that's something I really struggle with. Being born in West Africa, I've seen the worst of the worst that humanity has to offer to its youth, right? I've starved. I've been uneducated. I've had every possible mental oh my God, you just can't imagine losing 98% of my family through civil ethnic cleansing, right? And having multiple compounded atrocity. That's because from the time I was little, I had people feeding into me that I was a nobody, right? People will feed that into you. And not until later, I realized why that is. See, in one of my previous existence, I was the all be all, right? I was like, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was the man with the plan, right? And I was one of those people that people lay down and I walked on their backs with no empathy and no sympathy. That energy, right? When I de-animate, so I want you all to remember, when I de-animate, I contract into a seed that is birthed into the next life, right? And when you birth into the next life with that seed that you left with, whether it's a narcissistic behavior, whether it's a sociopathic behavior, whether it's a selfish, fearful, you put that into you as a seed and then you birth. And when you're birthed into a reality that's supposed to help cleanse you of it. So sometimes you're birthed into parents, because you get to select. You say, these parents or this reality is best going to help me heal and neutralize from these distortions. So you may have lived most of your life in prosperity, but you did not appreciate balance. You did not appreciate compassion and love and joy and happiness, not just for yourself, for others. It was all tick, tick, tick. Now you animate back in, you're going to animate into a family that living in the middle of the jungle, doesn't have access to any resources, and just what we call dirt poor, right? But the potential there to have a happy life exists, the potential to accept. And this is the cycle that we keep having. And then we have that life, and then we're miserable in that life. And then we pour that in, and we come back out and say, no, I don't want to have that life. I want to have that life of abundance and happiness and joy and wealth. And that life is given to you, and you're birthed into reality with a silver spoon in your mouth or a gold spoon, whatever, but you lose sight of it again, and then you loop back around again. The goal is to always return back to neutrality, acceptability of all things. And that's why you have to learn to start detaching from the things that controls and guide you in a distorted way, right? So we don't want to limit our potential. We want the creative force to guide us into our potential, because your soul does not interfere into the physical world unless you relinquish it to guide you, right, into the potential that helps you heal and become whole again, because you're part of the totality of all that is. Okay? So we want to consciously recognize, right, and dismantle these limiting beliefs that sometimes push us into these distorted places, right? And I know some of you out there, you're struggling with sickness, but I guarantee you, this is a fact based on the law of creation itself. There have been many people that have come into your life to help you heal from it, but you will not see it and could not see it because you were still stuck on those definitions. I ask you to learn to let go of those definitions, those belief systems, and allow, as this analogy is used, the alphabet to be free of any attachments, so the creator can truly align you with what is best for you. And that's when you begin to see miracles. Sometimes instantaneous miracles. Sometimes it might take a little bit till you learn to let go enough to get you there. Would anybody like to ask questions? I want to make sure if you have anything, raise your hand and jump in, please. Because this is for us. These are tools that we now have access to help us cleanse ourselves. This is not a tool to make you rich and wealthy. It has to be aligned with your purpose. What is your purpose? Some of us are healers. And to heal people, you have to understand balance. You have to understand love and compassion. Right? Can you do that being extremely wealthy? You could, possibly. Anything is possible. Right? But if you allow the freedom of the creator to guide you, you can experience all the financial success while still maintaining hold on your purpose, which is to be the beacon of health for others to embody. Because you become like that seed when you go inside and you come back out, you turn into a tree and bear fruits. You're not the one that benefit from the fruit because the creator is who gives you substance, right? The sun, nature, that is the creator. You provide the fruit. You don't say, well, I'm going to hold on to the fruit. Fruit is not meant for you in that context. It's meant to flow through you. And that's true abundance, right? Next, let's look at the Chi core technology, like many quantum technology, have identified precise intentions, right? These are intentions. We talk about intention. These are precise intentions, whether it's health, whether it's success, business, whatever it is that you're trying, it has those intentions, right? And when you run those intentions and you're in the means of the vibratory nature of that frequency, of those frequencies, right? It starts to shake loose of all of the resistance, all the things that's been persistent in your life that's holding you back. And your job is just to be in it. Don't question it. Don't think about it. Just be in it. Don't say, is it working? That's a judgment, right? Even if you don't believe it, because remember, we talk about blessing etiquette, right? I was at a church and I watched this couple. They were entering the church, and the husband, it was the funniest thing. The husband and wife got into a distortion, right? And they were going off on each other, right? At that time, I wanted to intervene, but something said stay out there. Cussing, the vocabulary was extensive, right? And then they went into the building, and then I watched one of them test a lie, because she was testify, but she was test a lie because I saw it for myself. Lord, I ask you to bless my husband. No, you called him a dirty bastard earlier outside. Now you're saying, Lord, bless him. You're not vibrating. Don't send him no blessing right now because you're sending him the connection of your vibration. So I need you to be careful how you make connections to people based on where you are, because sometimes the people around you become sickly. They become aligned with you. And the things, your greatest fear, the greatest distortion manifests into their life so you can perceive it. It's important that you understand your frequency and your vibration, the frequency that you're emitting and the resonance you're sending out, right? Because other people becomes attached to it. So in that case, I would say before you start blessing someone, bless yourself, pour back into yourself and neutralize yourself. Get to that place of neutrality. And then you're able to support. And I know this is hard because we have family members that sometimes, we are able to perceive our greatest fear through them, right? Suffering, struggles, whatever it is. Sometimes you can have the greatest life and then your kids somehow just can't align, right? That's part of your reflection, right? Sometimes it's your spouse that's reflecting your greatest fear, right? And then sometimes it can be the opposite. Because of how you're vibrating, you see that manifestation. We call it generational blessing or generational curse. But that's how you vibrate to the people around you, because the people closest around you are going to teach you the lesson. Right? So again, for those who just got this technology, congratulations. You're now being equipped with the tool to put you in any environment anywhere in the world. You can put yourself in a vibratory environment of being around successful people. You can put yourself in the vibratory nature of spiritual people. Buddha. Now you can put yourself in a state where you're sitting right next to Buddha, right? If that's your thing, or Jesus, or whomever, you can put yourself in that state right now. You don't have to wait to go somewhere. You don't say, well, I need to travel to Egypt and get into those pyramids and climb to the very top and then scream really loud. And then all of a sudden I'm gonna lie. No, you don't need to do that. You can do that from the comfort of your home, right? You can experience joy from the comfort of your home, because what you're doing, there's a term called biohacking. you're hacking and taking control of your vibration. And that is huge. Now, you might go some season while letting go. You're going to know all the crap you hold on to, right? You're going to wake up in the morning, you're going to have those thoughts about, hey, let this person go. It's going to be soft and gentle. Forgive this person. I can see some of you, hell to the no. No, I'm not doing that. No, that person did it. Okay. It's going to take you a little bit longer of a season to let go. Well, you will let go. As long as you run those frequencies, you will let go. Because one or two things are going to happen, right? Either that person completely is removed out of your reality, or you will remove completely from this reality. Right? So you can no longer, but this frequency is going to move you. These frequencies are going to move you. Right? And a lot of times it's the people that are moved because they're not really moving, they shift you to another reality where those people sometimes just stop being around, right? You might have some friends and all of a sudden you no longer around. Right? And you know, why is this person not calling me? It's a reason. Because you're not aligned with them anymore. It's okay to let them go. Why is this person not connecting with me? Why is that person? I don't feel love. Maybe that person is not the person to love you. Let them go. Just be okay. Be the perceiver and allow the creative expressions to be the creator, all that is. And that's what this technology is going to help you do. This technology, again, is tapping, it's not the all be all, but it's tapping into the all be all, which is the source of energy, the source of all things. Energy cannot be created. It's already fixed. Cannot be destroyed. It's already locked in. Just transform it. But now you have the power to see it, which direction you want to transform it to on a conscious level. We've been doing it on an unconscious level for centuries. Okay? So you want to select the frequencies, not based on distorted beliefs. Please do not go into these frequencies with the idea of healing the disease. Right? Going into these frequencies with the idea of what exists beyond the disease. I must say this because if someone makes you believe, because remember, the frequency aligns with what is going through here. So if sickness is going through it, because I need to get rid of this disease, I need to get rid of it, you're holding on. So the vibration, the frequency is going to say, let's give them more of that experience. So you start out and says, oh man, I need this cancer is going to kill me, this cancer. Then the frequency help you. Why am I always sick? Why am I always sick? Frequency is still running, right? It's still running, but the creative force is showing different ways to continue allow you to keep moving, not get to the destination. Belief is the developmental process of moving into knowing. Right? That developmental process can be short or long. It says the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. But we have now discovered it is no line. But you can make it as infinite as you wanted to, or you can make it as short as you wanted to. But that is up to you. That's what this device do. And that's what these quantum devices are supposed to be doing for us, but others are not teaching us how to properly leverage it. So always remember those letters, right? Am I letting go and freeing up those letters? This technology is supposed to help me let go of the detachments so I can get to where I need to go based on the outcome. So when you're sickly, don't think of you sick. Think of you healthy and increase the time. So you get to test this, right? And this is important. Test your 24-hour period, how often you perceive sickness versus how often you perceive being well. And begin to increase the time. So if you spend 10 minutes out of the day perceiving joy, happiness, and abundance, try to increase that. If you perceive sickness 23 hours and 35 seconds out of the day, you want to decrease that. And the more you continue to run this frequency, the more you begin to go inside and have mindful activities that is constructive. I promise you, you will start to see the shift in the direction that the universe and source will guide you. So I'm going to stop right here and ask for questions now, comments, thoughts.
I got a question.
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir, Tim?
Yeah, good. Thank you. This is my second time on. The newbie. I got a starter kit. Like the other guy that came on earlier, and I got on one of these calls that you did earlier when I first got it, and I thought it was really, really profound. It was a lot of good information, and I had got so busy in my life, I forgot to follow up with more of these. I know they're recorded. I can go back and listen to them, but I'm still working with the frequencies. I've had them now for about 2 months. And there's so many, but the intention part that you mentioned, I thought was very key because I really haven't gone into it with that much. I mean, I know I read the frequency and I see what it's for, and obviously I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to use it for this reason, and I just run it. And
Yeah.
sometimes I do think about it, or sometimes I'm kind of working and I have to put it off to the side. Usually wear it on my lanyard to keep it on me when I just focus on it for that time. But what you said about intentions, I didn't know that well. I don't know why. I think I saw when I first got it. I watched the thing with Boris, the thing that came on at the beginning when I got it. So and aligning the frequencies, they got to be aligned when you run them. I have the one that just the uni coil things. I don't have the yin and yang. I just have that one that came that starter kit one. So that's a cheap coil I have. So
That is the perfect cheat code you need.
really?
Yeah. Cheat code, it doesn't matter the size, right?
Okay.
Well, the size is based on your belief system that you need it, right? You know, some people say, I want to manifest 3,000 square foot, right? Well, you
Oh,
might want that, right? And somebody might say, well, this is working just fine for me, right? The goal is to expand yourself. If the 3,000 is meant to be, you will have access to get the 3,000 square feet, the oracle. It will come, right? Not just come, the oracle times 10, times 15 will come in your path, and if that's what is necessary for you. But the smaller the device is just as impactful as the great device because you're just simply putting information into that information field. The power to accelerate that device, whether you got the huge one or the little one, is still your intention. Intention is what fuels it. If you put
okay.
love and positivity and your emotions into your intention, you supercharge. Someone can have 10 aura coils around them. You can supercharge that mini coil with love and positivity and the right constructive intention, and you will manifest faster. I've seen it. I had somebody who had the miniature, the mini
Yeah.
mini, and I thought, I was like, man, that looks like a toothpick, right? And he's like, he said, what do I do with it? I said, empower it, use it. And so I was teaching him how to leverage it, and he began to use it. And then guess what? He just manifested an oracle.
Wow.
Now he has the oracle, and I asked him, "How do you feel?" He said, "Well, I feel better." I said, "Good. That's what your intention. You think big is better. Congratulations." Just like people might be content where there are other people say, "I need more." All right, to each his own. So I'm saying to
Yeah.
him, leverage what you got, put your
Okay.
intention to what you got, and then just become the observer. Allow the system of the quantum field, or God, whatever you want, to guide you. And you'll begin to see things happen. Now, it may not happen based on, because let's say if you have an intention, because a lot of us, we have an intention for abundance of money. That seems to be the theme, right? But what you
Yeah.
will notice, maybe your relationship starts to heal, right? Maybe the relationship with your kid starts to heal. Because at the core level, it's giving you what you need in order to move towards what you want. So if you want to be happy, sometimes the people closest to you needs to be aligned with that. And then also you got to remember the people you attach to your ideas and so forth. You lock yourself into that as well. So remain neutral.
Okay.
Remain neutral who you're going to help and why you're going to help them. Right? Some of us, we want to be successful, but we got all these people we want to help. No, 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 no. Because those people have karma to balance. And you not saying, I want to take on that karma too. And so now I got
Oh, yeah.
these people, no, 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 no. Focus on you, know thyself, move so you can shift. And the people that needs to be there will be there. And that's the mistake sometimes I have made as well. I was always connecting with people. Now I've gone on a sabbatical where I've actually just let go, and I begin to see me moving more in the direction of the things that I desire. And the people that needs to be there are the people that supports me in this endeavor.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Intention, intention, intention. Anyone else? And there's also something called synchronicity. I've talked about that in the past. Synchronicity are like breadcrumbs that will come into your existence, right? Into your reality. Will show you the possibility is possible, right? So for me, I wanted to change the world in so many ways, right? I was relentless in that pursuit, right? And no one could tell me otherwise. I woke up in the morning, I'm going to change this world. Right? And the reason I had that intention, because I came from the worst the world had to offer our children. And I wanted with passion and conviction to change it. But the world was heavy to carry. I couldn't carry the world because I wasn't even carrying myself. And so it became limited. But I did see the synchronicity of the potential to heal the world. When I was blessed with the download for some of these incurable diseases, right? I went into that wanting with a desire, deep desire to heal everybody of incurable diseases. It was just my desire. And then synchronicity came and says the tools are already out here. Just have to align with it. So it was nothing that I needed to create. I just needed to align with it. And then people who follow that healed. It was great. But then I saw people who chose not to follow it deanimate. But I also had to accept that because I couldn't have no judgment to that. At the beginning, I was pissed. Can you imagine if I said, eat this, you get better, and you're like, I'm not eating that crap. And then you pass away, and then I'm feeling guilty. Like I didn't do enough. And that was those distortions that I needed to heal from. I had to accept them no matter what choices or what other choices that was made. And love them in that. Because I know whatever happens, they're contracted, they're going to be rebirthed into healing. And that's life. Right? So for all of you out there, focus on knowing that self, because everything out here is projection of you. And now you have a tool to help you project the reality you want. And so now I don't chase saving the world. I chase aligning with the world that best serves me. And no matter what is happening, I want the one that aligns with me. So I see more happiness, I see more positivity, I see more people moving in the direction. But every now and then I see those distortions that still pull me back. But I have to always remember to be neutral. That's why I go back to the frequency. I run those luck frequency, I run the love frequency, I run the balance frequency. I'm starting to run joy and happiness. Right? And I've had my entire life, I've never experienced joy like the way I'm experiencing joy with my family. I'm like on cloud nine when my son is even agitated. It's like this joy that just emits from him. And sometimes it looks weird because I'm smiling. He looks agitated. Like, and I know he's frustrated because I'm like, why is this fool smiling? I'm mad. And I'm just happy because they bring me joy. This type of joy I've never felt with nobody, with nothing. And I'm seeing everything they do highlights me, right? It gets me excited to want to be here, want to be present, want to be loving, want to be compassionate, want to be those things because of them. You can have those too. Those are the things that I wanted most of my life that I felt like I couldn't have because from the time I was rejected. I was bullied. I was picked on when I first came from Africa. I thought my middle name was Booty Scratcher because everybody was calling me African Booty Scratcher. In every which way. But for the first time in my life, I'm now aligned with perfect love, perfect joy, and even the peace. That is so much richer than chasing things out there. You can find that is right around you. Just shift. And so I use those frequencies, shift me, and I run the frequency on them as well. when problems come, I think I shared with you what happened to my daughter. My daughter smashed her head, had an indent in her head. I was calm.
Mm.
She has no mark after 3 days. She smashed her hair on like a brick. And my wife was just in tears. I felt that to my soul. And I took a deep breath. I need to shift. 2 days later, I was trying to find a scar, because I saw my
Well,
daughter
yeah.
in a perfect state. And she's running this frequency as well. My daughter's still running and falling. It terrifies me a little bit. That's that. But transformation happened. That I'm grateful for, because all the things I've been through has brought me to this place, right? And so the chase is no longer my thing. Things are starting to synchronize and come to me. And I'm asking you to do the same. Your health, your wellness, your wealth, whatever it is that's for you is coming to you. All of us manifest differently. All of us have different purpose. Some of you was designed to be wealthy. Some of you were designed to be the embodiment of health so others can be inspired, the beacon of hope for those things. You have not tapped into your potential because you have not truly come to know that self and unconditionally accept that self with love. And that's the first journey on this thing. Before you start chasing abundance, first journey is to love yourself and find ways to love yourself, because the world will love you. That's what the creative force will do for you. And when that world begins to love you, see, when someone loves you, it will do anything for you. Especially when it's unconditional. There's nothing you can ask for that it won't do for you. That's what you can now vibrate with. Run those love frequencies. Run those love frequency. Change your idea that you are not a bad luck person, that you're a lucky person, because there's so much around you that makes you feel lucky. You just can't see it. You woke up this morning, you're lucky. And remember, just to animate into physical reality, the odds of you animating into physical reality was astronomical. And here you are. You had to be very, very lucky for those two items to meet, sperm and eggs. So you're a very lucky person coming in. But we lose sight of that. If we had to go through those obstacles in the real world, I wouldn't want to go through that. I wouldn't want to be that sperm trying to find that egg. I'm like, nah, it's not that serious. She can do her thing. I'm going somewhere else. But you beat the odds. And you can beat the odds here too, because now you have a tool to equip you with. Mia, do you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Please.
I didn't know I was muted, and I called myself. I was like, "It's Mia. I have a question."
Go ahead.
The question is it's for you, because I've answered it for people, but I think sometimes because I've done that for so many people, I have been having people basically come up to me saying my frequency is too high for this realm. So they're committed to lowering it. Yes. And it, like, say it out of their mouth like a human standing in front of you. And I'm like, okay, you're just a program. So and then they'll do something and act like, oh, we're going to keep doing this till we change your frequency. I was like, do you not get frequency master? Like, do you not understand what that means? But it would be nice for them to just all be deleted, and for that to stop being something humans I don't know decide to walk up and say to me.
Well, don't delete them, right? Transform,
Right.
because here's the thing, right? There's
Oh, I
infinite
do.
version of them. Remember that.
So that's why I have the question, because I am so good at transforming it.
Yeah.
That I think that's why they started saying something like,
Okay.
like the program is angry. Like, how did you figure out to transform it? I was like, not only did I figure it out, I teach people to do it. Right. So it's like, how come we can't find something? I'm like, because whatever you send, I'm going to transform. Right. Like, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what form. You have tried your best. Believe me. It's like people can't handle hearing what happened. Right.
Yeah.
Or the number of times. So I just wanted to know your take on it, and if you'd experienced that.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's the saying that which you resist will persist, right? And so when you see those situations, ask yourself, why is it coming from within you? Because you're manifesting it, right? Remember,
Right.
everything happens with duality. Right? If you say, I am a higher being, well, you got to experience lower beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is to accept your reflection unconditionally, right? You have to embrace those rejections or those distortions, I call it, and embrace it unconditionally. They're not there to attack you. They're there to bring you to balance. So that remember I said I had shifted to the highest dimension. I went to 15 density. I thought I was, oh, you couldn't tell me nothing. Till I got there and realized that the very bottom was just as important. Zero density was actually more important than the 15. 15, you could do any kind of supernatural thing that we define it. But zero was the totality of all that is. So I skydived back down.
Okay. Yeah. Because, you know, I live 24/7 on the 12D
Yeah. So
and
come down.
just been sending love and light, right? Like whatever they say, I'm like, no, thanks, but you know, nice trick, no cigar. Like, just not just stay neutral, but literally just be even more love.
Exactly. So at the beginning, I'm gonna go back here before I know we're at the end, but you see that number line, right? That number line flows through the infinite positive and the infinite negative, right? You
Yes.
want to align with the number line. The number line has no judgment what number attaches to it. It's where you want to be. The only thing that does not have a duality is neutrality. When you get to that place, you have now truly understood the nature that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and you get to see it objectively rather than subjectively. So if you see your reality as a -3, +3 will exist. If you see your reality as a +3, -3 will exist. You create both at the same time. So you have to be acceptable to what you are creating and then just shift to another expressions of those creation, right? And then trust your creative force. Just don't attach to it. Just perceive it. No judgments on them or on you. Just be.
Okay. Yeah. Because even
And
like
that will allow.
today, for today's meeting, I set my alarm 3 times, twice of which was today. And still my alarm unset itself.
And yet you're here.
Yeah. And so when I came in, instead of saying, I can't believe my alarm would turn itself off, I was like, this must be the perfect time I plan to come in.
There you go.
So yeah, I'm gonna use this number line as just the good visual instead
Yeah.
of saying I'm the uncarved stone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is
Perfect.
you. Focus on your charge, and you will keep going back to that positive. So if you're a -3, you're going to change it to a +3 till you understand both, and then you can move closer to the center. Then you now move to -2, +2, and -1. When you get to that center place, then you truly have master that self. And when you master that self, you can walk in love, compassion, and positivity because all energy is an expression of you. Everybody is an expression of you. You are the singularity. I'm an expression of you, as all of you are expressions of me. There's only one single source, and it designed all of that is. Right? And so love is truly the element. So some of you are on -200, some of you are on +200. That's irrelevant, right? And all of those are potential. It could be relationship, positive, other health, negative, or health, positive, financial, negative, whatever it is. Just embrace and accept the totality of all of it because that's who you are in that moment. And then run the frequency to help bring the information in so you can start to disconnect from it. And then you can start to move into the knowing of that self. Okay. So I know we've just ran out of time. I love you guys. We will continue this session next week. I want to continue the rest of it so that we'll really capture what can I do on a day-to-day basis, which is, oh, let go of belief system. Start detaching. So before the day is out, think of people, places, and things that you need to detach from and begin to detach through love. That number line is love. Just detach from love and then and begin to observe what happens thereafter. Love you guys. Again, if you guys want to be a blessing, send me some scalar blessings and then whatever other ways you can. I love you guys. You guys have an amazing rest of your week, okay?
You also, sir.
Love you too, Judge.